Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. So look, if you are a homeowner planning a big exterior renovation, or maybe a contractor trying to win that next bid, you already know the exact moment a project suddenly hits a brick wall. It's usually right when the conversation turns to price. Well, today we've got an absolutely fantastic resource to unpack. We're diving deep into the brand new Stone Veneer Cost Guide Ontario 2026, published by Pro Materials. Our goal here is super simple. We're going to completely demystify stone veneer pricing. We're going to break down the actual costs, literally line by line, so you know exactly what you're paying for. And more importantly, we'll show you exactly where you can save thousands of dollars without sacrificing that gorgeous look for your home.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here is our roadmap for the explainer today. We're going to cover the true cost revealed, the secret labor price, sizing up your project, hidden factors costing you, surviving the Ontario winter, and finally, how to start your project today.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the true cost revealed.
You know, when homeowners first look at contractor bids, man, the sticker shock is incredibly real. Honestly, it's just super confusing to get 3 quotes back for the exact same wall and see wildly different numbers sitting at the bottom of the page. Well, according to the Pro Materials 2026 Cost Guide, the installed price for stone veneer in Ontario ranges from $9 all the way up to 75 Canadian dollars per square foot. I mean, think about that. That is a massive 4-to-1 spread. At the lower end, around that $9 to $18 mark, you've got your polymer faux stone panels. Sitting in the middle is manufactured stone veneer, and then at the absolute top of the market, running you anywhere from $45 to $75 a square foot, is natural quarried stone.
Which instantly brings us to the most obvious question, right? Why on earth is the price gap so huge? It seems completely illogical that covering the exact same surface area can cost either $1,000 or $5,000. But, as the Pro Materials Guide brilliantly points out, the secret behind this massive gap, it isn't actually the cost of the rock itself.
And that brings us to Section 2, the secret labor price. Now, to truly understand what you're actually paying for, we kind of have to peel back the onion on where the money really goes. When you break the typical installed costs down into material, prep, and labor, it reveals a pretty fascinating story. Take polymer panels, for example. At about $13.50 per square foot total, labor only makes up 26% of the price. The material is the main cost there. But jump over to natural quarried stone, boom, the total price skyrockets to $60. And the craziest part? The vast majority of that leap isn't the rock itself, it's the labor, rocketing all the way up to $36 per square foot.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that when you choose natural stone, a staggering 60% of your total invoice is going directly to labor. Why? Well, because natural stone is incredibly demanding to install. I mean, it requires a dedicated, highly skilled mason, it needs a mortar scratch coat, it requires metal lath painfully fastened to the wall. You aren't just paying for a premium material, you are paying for days or even weeks of a specialized trade's time. And this massive difference in labor cost really just comes down to pure speed. A standard 2-person siding crew using mechanical fasteners can knock out 200 to 300 square feet of polymer panels in a single day. Now, contrast that with a mason who's setting natural stone in wet mortar, moving at a painstaking pace of maybe 50 to 100 square feet a day. Siding crews work 4 to 6 times faster, which is exactly why natural stone costs 3 to 5 times as much. Makes sense when you think about it like that, right?
Moving on to Section 3, sizing up your project.
Now, abstract per square foot numbers are great and all, but let's be real. Nobody writes a check per square foot. To contextualize what an actual invoice might look like for your specific home, let's consider a modest entry accent of about 200 square feet. Polymer panels are going to run you around $1,800 to $3,600, while natural stone hits $9,000 to $15,000. For a full front elevation of 500 square feet, manufactured veneer sits comfortably right in the middle at $9,000 to $18,000. And if you're doing a full main story wrap on a custom build, which is roughly 900 square feet, natural stone could easily cost you upwards of $40,500 to over $67,000.
To make this completely real, the Pro Materials Guide shares this fascinating little anecdote from a contractor in Markham. So he was quoting a 500 square foot front elevation upgrade on a classic 1980s subdivision home. The homeowner had previously gotten a natural stone quote for nearly 30,000 Canadian dollars. Well, this savvy contractor quoted the exact same coverage using Novik polymer panels for under $9,000 installed. He literally saved the homeowner over $20,000 on the aesthetic upgrade. And yeah, not surprisingly, he closed the sale on his very first visit. A real game changer.
All right, Section 4, hidden factors costing you.
So, you might be wondering,
If two houses have the exact same 500 square foot facade, why could their quotes still be thousands of dollars apart? Well, contractors don't just randomly pad estimates, they actually look at 5 hidden variables to tighten them up. First is corners. Second is pattern complexity, like a stacked ledge pattern goes up super fast, while random fieldstone takes serious time to sort and cut. Third is substrate condition. If you have rot repair or need a new water-resistive barrier, you're looking at an extra $2 to $6 CAD per square foot. Fourth is the product family, which we've already covered. And finally, location and crew rates. Mason labor in the GTA, for example, definitely sits at the higher end of the provincial range.
But hold on, I really want to pause here and deliver a true VIP insider secret straight from this guide. Corners are priced by the linear foot, not the square foot. Seriously, this is a massive trap. If you or even your contractor calculate the total flat square footage and just forget to measure the outside corners linearly, your material budget is going to land 15 to 25% light. This single oversight will absolutely ruin a budget.
To completely avoid that costly trap, the estimating desk at Pro Materials actually uses a brilliant, strict 5-step method on every single quote. Step 1, measure flat wall area. Step 2, measure outside corners separately in linear feet. Step 3, pick your product here. Step 4, add a 10 to 15% waste allowance. This is absolutely crucial for those complex cuts. And Step 5, layer in any required prep and flashing costs. It's totally systematic and it leaves zero room for costly surprises.
Which leads us to Section 5, Surviving the Ontario Winter.
Up until now, we've really only discussed day 1 installation costs. But a house, that is a 30-year investment, 50 to 70. According to Environment Canada data cited in the guide, that is the number of times per year the Greater Toronto Area actually crosses the freezing mark. That constant, relentless fluctuation back and forth across 0 degrees Celsius causes massive freeze-thaw stress on literally all exterior materials.
And honestly, this is exactly where the materials truly separate themselves. See, every single mortar joint in a natural or manufactured stone wall absorbs a tiny bit of water. Every time it freezes and thaws, which again is 50 to 70 times a year, it stresses that mortar. Eventually, it cracks, meaning you're looking at expensive repointing every 10 to 15 years. Polymer faux stone panels, on the other hand, are fastened mechanically. There's absolutely zero mortar. Therefore, that entire failure path simply doesn't exist. This is exactly why polymer panels boast a significantly lower lifetime cost of ownership and often carry lifetime warranties, while natural stone just kind of turns into an ongoing maintenance expense.
Finally, Section 6, Start Your Project Today.
So, we broke down the pricing, the labor secrets, the hidden traps, and even the weather impacts. Now it's time to take action. Whether you're a local contractor looking to secure a rock-solid supply chain or a homeowner wanting to lock in these exact savings, you can browse all their products, check out pricing, and easily request quotes over at promaterials.ca. But even better, drop by the Pro Materials New Market showroom. They are located at 1235 Journey's End Circle, Unit 5, right in Newmarket, Ontario. As the guide rightly points out, pulling physical samples and seeing the true shadow depth of these stones in person is just invaluable before making your final decision.
The numbers absolutely prove that a stunning exterior doesn't have to completely ruin your budget, so long as you know exactly what you're paying for, right? So here's my question for you. Are you ready to see the difference in person and finally start building your dream facade? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and hey, here's to planning your next big project with total confidence. See you next time.